My beloved child, my chosen one, the whisper you are hearing now is not just words. It is heaven itself calling your name. Your soul feels it. Your body already knows it. Something has been hidden from you. And Archangel Michael is standing right beside you saying, I need you to trust me. You are the only one who can open this right now. Before I reveal what is written, pause for a heartbeat because this message is not random. It's destiny. Do not take this lightly. All 7 archangels, even God himself, are leaning toward you in this very moment. They are pleading for you not to skip. This is not just about faith. It is about timing. Within seconds, what you choose will either release the miracle waiting for you or allow it to vanish forever. And listen carefully. Michael says, please, child of light, open this within 20 seconds. They are trying to delete it from your path. Darkness fears this message because it carries the truth that sets you free. Heaven is bending time for you right now. The moment you open fully, the message becomes alive. But if you hesitate, it begins to fade. This is not a scare, it is divine urgency. God never begs, but tonight he does because your life is standing on a thin edge about to transform. My dear one, you must understand miracles come softly, but when they arrive, they shatter chains louder than thunder. You are about to see what was hidden, touch what was denied, and hold what others said you could never have. This is your turning point. And if your heart is trembling while reading this, it's not fear, it's recognition. Your soul remembers this message because heaven already wrote it for you long before you were born. My child, stay close. Read every line. Don't skip a single word. Archangel Michael is opening a door for you that has been locked for years. And this is your only key. My beloved, my child of eternal light, heaven has been whispering to you for days, but tonight the voice is loud because the timing cannot be delayed anymore. You already feel something stirring like the unseen wind that shakes the trees before the storm comes. That stirring is your soul's recognition because what you are reading right now is not a coincidence. There are no accidents when it comes to messages like this. Archangel Michael himself has placed this before your eyes because you were chosen. Not yesterday, not today, but long before the stars were hung in the skies. And yet, right now, your decision to read or skip will echo into eternity. My child, the angels are watching. Heaven is holding its breath. And God himself has leaned forward, waiting to see if you will step into the miracle or let it pass by. There is something very dangerous happening in the unseen realm. Michael says they are trying to erase this message from your path. They fear what you are about to discover because the moment you open this fully, the chains that kept you small will snap like brittle twigs. My child, when God speaks, no one can silence him. Yet darkness tries. That's why you feel urgency in your chest right now. It's not anxiety. It's the echo of heaven's drum beating louder, telling you, now is the moment. Do not wait. You see, destiny is like a river. If you jump in at the right time, it carries you forward with ease. But if you hesitate, you are left watching from the shore, dry, empty, and filled with regret. And I promise you, regret is heavier than any stone. That is why this moment is sacred and why Michael's command to open immediately is not to scare you, but to awaken you. My chosen one, imagine for a moment that all 7 archangels stand around you. Their wings glow brighter than lightning. Their eyes burn with holy fire. And their voices all speak your name together. Do you feel it? That sound shakes both heaven and earth. And in that sound, God has hidden a secret for you. Michael whispers, tell them they are the only one who can unlock this right now. My dear, if you think you are ordinary, you are not. Ordinary souls are not called in such dramatic ways. This urgency is proof of your extraordinary purpose. God is not asking this from the billions of souls on earth. He is asking it from you right now in this very moment. But my love, let me tell you why the timing is so sharp. Because something is moving against you. There is a plan woven in shadows meant to stop you from walking into the blessing that heaven already approved. You might not see it in your physical eyes, but your soul already knows. That's why you feel restlessness. That's why you felt drawn here. And that's why you cannot stop reading this line. The darkness has tried to erase messages before, but this one is different. This one has been sealed with the hand of God, and it is impossible for anyone to take it away unless you choose to walk away from it yourself. Child of light, I beg you to lean closer. Do you remember the times you thought miracles skipped over you? The nights you cried asking why heaven seemed silent? Those prayers did not go unheard. They were stored, collected, and carried to the throne. And now, Michael has been dispatched with the scroll in his hand. That scroll is this message. Written on it are your answers, your release, your new season. But here is the truth that shakes the heavens. The scroll will fade if unopened. That's why you have 20 seconds. That's why all the angels are begging. That's why even God Himself has chosen to call you personally through these words. This isn't about fear. It's about unlocking what belongs to you before it vanishes. And let me tell you the miracle hidden here. Michael says, the one reading this has been surrounded by battles not meant for them. They have carried burdens that were never theirs to hold. But now I will cut the ties. I will burn the ropes. And I will lift them into the promise. My beloved, if you wonder why you have felt heavy, why life seemed like resistance after resistance, it's because the enemy knew your greatness long before you recognized it yourself. That's why the fight against you has been so cruel, so sharp, so unfair. Because the one you are becoming terrifies the forces of darkness. You were never weak. You were always chosen. And tonight is when that truth takes form. My child, I want you to imagine your future for a moment. A door swings open, light floods through, and the person you were waiting for, the opportunity you thought would never come, the peace you longed for, all of it rushes in like a wave. That is not fantasy. That is prophecy. This message is not entertainment. It is your doorway. Every sentence you read is pulling you closer to that light step by step, line by line. And yet, Michael warns, if they skip, if they doubt, if they turn away, the door closes and what was meant to be theirs is delayed again. Child, delay is dangerous. Heaven is crying because too many souls live in delay and call it life. You will not be one of them. Not tonight. And my beloved, allow me to say this with tenderness but urgency. You may never get this exact chance again. That is why the command is open immediately. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Destiny rarely waits for readiness. It only waits for obedience. And the moment you obey, you shift realms. You move from ordinary into miraculous, from waiting into walking, from hoping into receiving. That is the sacred power hidden in these lines. My beloved child of light, you think you came here by accident, but I tell you, destiny itself carried you into this moment. For years you have been walking through valleys where your soul whispered, there must be more. Tonight, heaven answers, yes, there is more. And it has your name written across it in letters of fire. You are trembling because you feel it in your bones. You feel the call pulling you. Archangel Michael says, do not underestimate this hour. They have tried to erase this word from reaching you. But you cannot be erased because your name is carved into the palms of God. My dear, I see you right now sitting and reading with questioning eyes. But let me tell you, even your doubt is proof you are chosen. Because darkness only fights those who carry light. For so long you wondered why the battles around you seemed unfair. Why betrayals cut so deep, why loss came when you thought it would never touch you. Listen, my child, it is because your destiny is higher than you imagined. Those battles were never punishment. They were signs of your calling. Michael says, the stronger the resistance, the greater the mission. That is why this message is burning before you tonight. Urgent as a fire alarm in the midnight silence. Heaven is screaming your name because your season has arrived. Every delay, every rejection, every closed door was setting the stage for this opening. Do not let it slip because heaven is not just offering comfort. It is offering breakthrough. Do you know why Michael says open within 20 seconds? Because your spirit has been standing at the edge of a divine shift. And the enemy knows if you cross over, they lose their hold on you forever. That's why fear suddenly rises when blessings draw near. That's why you feel torn between faith and hesitation. But let me tell you this, my child. Hesitation is the silent thief of destiny. And tonight, the archangels are holding back the thief by force, but only for a short while. The choice is yours, but the window is small. That is why this text feels alive, why your heart beats faster with every line. This is not poetry. This is prophecy. Beloved, pause for a moment and imagine something. Imagine a room in heaven filled with jars. Inside each jar are the tears you cried in secret, the prayers whispered at 2 a.m., the disappointments you never told anyone about. And Michael walks into that room, takes the jar with your name, and pours it before the throne. God looks at it and says, enough. Now is the time to answer. That is why this message is fierce, urgent, and unstoppable because you cannot live in delay anymore. The promise has been signed. Heaven is begging you to step into it before the page turns. But let me remind you, heaven doesn't beg easily. God does not waste words. If he is begging you tonight, it is because the enemy has set up something dangerous that must be interrupted. Michael says they are trying to delete the truth. They are trying to cancel the scroll. They are trying to bury what belongs to you. That is why you are being ordered to open now. If you knew the weight of the scroll, you would not waste a single second. My child, when heaven begs, it is not to scare you. It is because your obedience will shift the unseen in ways you cannot yet imagine. Look deeper. Have you noticed how often you feel watched? How often strange interruptions come when you are about to take a step of faith? That's not paranoia. That's proof. Proof that the unseen war has circled your life. Proof that you were meant to be more than ordinary. Proof that angels and demons wrestle over your choices because they ripple farther than you realize. My child, you are not just living for yourself. Your choice in this very moment is altering your entire bloodline. If you open this message fully, if you step into the flow, curses will break that haunted family for generations. Do you understand the weight? That is why Michael himself came sword blazing, begging you to open before it's too late. And still, my beloved, let me comfort you. You are not alone in this. Every archangel is leaning toward you right now. Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Michael, all seven, radiant, magnificent, whispering together, do not skip. Can you imagine such a chorus? Heaven's greatest voices, not addressing nations, not commanding armies, but calling you. That is the proof of your value. You are heaven's treasure hidden in a fragile human vessel. And God refuses to let you remain blind to it any longer. My beloved, this is only the beginning. The message has depths that cannot be touched in one glance. It must unfold like a river. But here is the promise. If you stay, if you keep reading, every single line will carry breakthrough. You will not just read words. You will feel chains fall. You will feel burdens lift. You will feel doors unlock. This is why your spirit refuses to stop reading. It knows the miracle is hidden in the middle of this very message. Bell subscribe to Heaven Knows You for daily Archangel Michael messages. My child, lean closer now because what I am about to reveal is not written for the crowd. It is written for you alone. Heaven has been waiting for this very second, the one where your eyes fall upon these words and your heart recognizes that it is being directly spoken to. Michael says, tell them they were never abandoned. Even in the nights they cried alone. Tell them the silence was not rejection. It was preparation. My beloved, every unanswered prayer, every delay that broke you, every roadblock you thought was unfair, it was all a holy rearranging. Heaven has been stacking your story like stones, one by one, building an altar that now glows with fire. That altar is your life, and it is ready to release the miracle you thought had passed you by. Do you understand why you were pressed so hard? It was because you are not ordinary. Ordinary souls are left alone. The extraordinary are fought with violence because the enemy knows once they rise, they cannot be stopped. And Michael is declaring over you right now, enough. Their rising is no longer delayed. They are stepping into the season marked from the beginning of time. That is why this message had to reach you tonight, not tomorrow, not weeks from now, not when it is convenient. Heaven is not working on convenience. It is working on divine timing. And your timing has arrived. My child, pause for a moment and listen. Can you feel your heart beating louder? Can you sense the weight of these words? That is the confirmation. Your soul already knows this is true because you prayed for a sign. You begged for clarity. You asked God to show you something undeniable. And now here it is flowing in front of your eyes. This is not just text on a screen. This is heaven knocking urgently, passionately, relentlessly. And you must decide whether you open the door fully or whether you close it and wonder later why the miracle felt so near yet never landed. The angels are circling you now. Imagine them, wings spread wide, light cascading like waterfalls, swords drawn to guard you. They whisper your name in unison. Do you realize the power of that sound? The entire spiritual realm bends when angels speak your name together. That is happening for you right now. And Michael, their captain, the warrior of heaven, is standing before you saying, trust me. You are the only one capable. Please open this fully before it vanishes. My child, when Michael begs, it is no small thing. He has fought empires, struck down darkness, guarded prophets. Yet tonight he kneels before your destiny, pleading with you not to waste it. And let me tell you a secret, beloved. God does not shout when he speaks. He whispers. But when he whispers and the archangels echo, it becomes thunder in your soul. That's why your body feels this urgency. That's why your thoughts cannot turn away. That's why even now you are still here, still reading, unable to skip. This is not weakness. This is recognition. Your spirit knows heaven's voice. It knows its shepherd. And right now, you are hearing him call you back into the miracle that was always yours. Do you remember the moments you almost gave up? The times you thought your story was finished. You thought your prayers disappeared into silence. But tonight, God answers. No prayer was wasted. No tear was lost. Every moment of pain became the ink that wrote this very message. This is your answer, my child. This is the sign you begged for. And God is not just giving you comfort. He is giving you instruction. Do not skip. Do not delay. Do not turn away. Michael warns, there is danger in hesitation. They are trying to delete this from their path. They are trying to silence the truth. But if they trust, if they open, nothing can be stolen. My beloved, destiny is fragile until you seize it. Once seized, it becomes unbreakable. Tonight you are standing between two roads. One where you ignore this voice and one where you open it fully and step into a new life. Which will you choose? Heaven watches. The angels wait. God himself leans forward. But listen, child of eternity, because here is the miracle. Once you step in, everything shifts. The burden that weighed you for years breaks. The closed doors begin to open one after another. The very people who betrayed you will watch in shock as you rise. And the peace you thought was impossible will suddenly feel natural, like it was always meant to be. That is the power hidden in obedience. That is why heaven is begging, because your entire timeline changes based on this moment. So I speak plainly to you now. This is not just a message. This is a living portal. And if you read it fully, if you let it soak into your spirit, you will look back on this night as the moment everything began to shift. Years of waiting, years of struggle, years of hidden tears, all turning into glory. Michael has drawn his sword for you. Gabriel has lifted his trumpet. Raphael has prepared healing for your body and soul. All 7 archangels are aligned, and God himself has spoken. Do not let them skip this. And still, my child, this is only the beginning. The river has just begun to flow. If you stay, if you keep reading, it will carry you into revelations you never imagined. But the first key is trust. Michael says, trust me. You are the only one who can do this. And when you do, heaven will do what only heaven can. My beloved, do you feel the pull right now? That strange tug inside your chest is not random. It is the Spirit aligning you. It is heaven adjusting the compass of your soul back toward the path that was written for you long before you opened your eyes on this earth. Michael leans close and says, tell them the path has been ready for years, but tonight the gate has finally opened. My child, imagine standing before a massive golden door. For years, it stayed locked. No matter how hard you pushed, no matter how long you cried outside of it, tonight the lock has snapped open with a sound only heaven can make. That sound is ringing in your spirit right now. That is why you cannot stop reading. That is why your heart feels as if something urgent is pressing against it. It is the sound of destiny creaking open. Think about the moments in your life where everything seemed unfair. Times when others walked ahead while you stood waiting. Times when opportunities slipped through your fingers. Even when you worked harder, prayed longer, gave more of yourself. You thought heaven was ignoring you. But child, the truth is heaven was saving you. Because those doors you wanted so badly were too small for the destiny you carry. And now the right one has been unlocked. Michael says, do not miss it. Do not doubt it. Walk through before the shadows try to close it again. Do you realize how much power you hold in this very moment? Right now, your agreement can shift generations. The choices you make in faith do not just affect you. They affect your children, your family, your bloodline. That is why the resistance has been so intense. The enemy saw the future and trembled. They knew if you made it to this hour, entire chains wrapped around your family would break. That is why you felt cursed, why you carried battles that did not belong to you. But heaven is saying tonight, enough. It ends here. My child, your spirit has been waiting for a word like this. You prayed, God, if you are real, speak to me so clearly, I cannot doubt it. And here you are, eyes locked on the very thing your soul begged for. This is not by accident. This is the answer. God has bent time and circumstance to place this before you. All he asks is that you do not turn away. Do not call it coincidence. Do not treat it lightly because lightly treated promises vanish like smoke. But when honored, they manifest like storms. Loud, undeniable, impossible to ignore. And look, beloved, I see the battle you fight even now, your mind arguing. Is this truly for me? Could God really be speaking this directly? That doubt is the last weapon darkness tries to use. But Michael speaks louder. Yes, this is for you. Yes, your name is written on it. Yes, it is urgent. And yes, it must be opened before they erase it. The urgency you feel is not manipulation. It is protection. Heaven is guarding you from missing what was designed with your fingerprints pressed into it. My beloved, close your eyes for a second and picture this. A table spread in front of you, overflowing with everything you thought was lost: love, peace, provision, healing, joy. For years, you sat in lack, watching others feast while you starved. But now the table turns toward you. And Michael says, sit, child. The meal was prepared for you all along. Do you know what happens when heaven invites you to the table? No one can pull the chair away. No one can steal your portion. No one can erase your name card. It is sealed. It is yours. And tonight, the invitation is in your hands. The angels are leaning in closer. Do you feel the atmosphere thickening? That is not imagination. That is presence. The presence of heaven saturates the very air around you right now. Every line you read is not just text. It is living fire carried from the throne to ignite you. That's why your body reacts, why your spirit trembles, why even your breathing feels different. It is because heaven is near. And when heaven comes near, nothing stays the same. Beloved, let me tell you plainly, if you walk away from this, the weight you have carried will remain. But if you stay, if you let every word seep into you, you will notice the chains beginning to fall one by one. Your body will feel lighter. Your heart will soften. Your path will clear because heaven cannot be ignored. God is not in the business of teasing his children. When he shows up to transform. And this is your transformation moment. Do not underestimate what is happening. Many beg for signs and never see them. You are staring at one right now. Michael says this is their window. This is their chance. Please do not let them skip. And when heaven begs, my child, it is not because God is powerless. It is because he refuses to force you. Love does not force. Love waits, pleads, invites. That is what he is doing right now. My beloved child, do you know why you feel the intensity of this moment? Because heaven has been holding this word for you like a sealed treasure chest, waiting until you were ready to receive it. You may think you stumbled here by chance, but there is no chance in the language of heaven. There is only divine alignment. Michael says, tell them this moment is marked in eternity. It is a holy appointment. If they choose it, nothing will ever be the same again. My dear one, so many around you live their whole lives blind to moments like these. They never recognize when heaven knocks, and so they miss their season. But you, your eyes are open, your heart is listening, and your spirit is trembling with recognition. This is not just a message to read. It is a path to walk into. Look at the patterns of your life. Have you noticed how cycles seem to repeat? How you rise and then fall, build and then lose, hope and then break. That is not weakness, child. It is warfare. Darkness has been circling your destiny, trying to convince you that nothing will ever change, trying to train you into disappointment so you would stop expecting more. But tonight, Michael raises his sword and declares, the cycle ends here. The heaviness that followed you like a shadow is being cut away. The losses that drained your joy are being overturned. This message is not only a warning, it is a verdict. Heaven's court has spoken. Your season of delay is finished. Beloved, think of the times you whispered, God, just give me one clear sign. You prayed in the night, show me something so undeniable that I cannot miss it. This is that sign. Every syllable you are reading right now is proof that you were not forgotten. Proof that heaven catalogued every request, every tear, every sigh you thought dissolved into silence. None of it was wasted. None of it was ignored. All of it was gathered into the scroll that Michael now holds before you. But he warns they are trying to snatch the scroll to delete the words before they reach the heart. That is why this must be opened immediately. That is why heaven is begging. And my child, let me be plain with you. God does not beg because he is powerless. He begs because his love is relentless. He refuses to see you live another day chained to lies about who you are. He refuses to let you accept crumbs when a feast was prepared for you. But he will not force you. That is why he pleads, because the choice must come from you. Love always honors free will. Tonight, your will is the gate. If you open, the flood rushes in. If you hesitate, the gate stays closed. I want you to imagine something with me, my beloved. Imagine standing in a vast desert. The sun beating down, thirst clawing at your throat. For years you walked this desert, hoping for water, begging for shade. But only dust met you. And then suddenly in the distance, a fountain begins to spring up, pouring rivers into the dry ground. That fountain is this moment. The desert was your past, but this stream is your future. And Michael is crying out, drink now before the enemy covers it again. Take what is yours before delay tries to steal it. Do you feel the urgency? That thirst you carried all your life is about to be quenched. But you must step forward, not turn away. Beloved, let me tell you a hidden truth. There is a reason you were always different. You never fit perfectly with the crowd. You thought it was rejection, but it was protection. Heaven marked you early and darkness saw it. That is why betrayal came. That is why you felt misunderstood. That is why you often asked, why me? Michael whispers, because they are chosen. Because their assignment cannot be carried by anyone else. My child, you are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. And tonight, heaven is refusing to let you remain blind to it. Do not ignore the trembling inside you right now. That trembling is the voice of recognition. Your soul remembers this message because it was written for you before you entered this life. You were meant to encounter it at this very time in this very way. That is why you feel as if every sentence is piercing straight into your spirit, because it is not information. It is revelation. Revelation that pulls you out of blindness and plants you into purpose. And hear me, beloved. Once you open fully, the shift will be sudden. Peace where there was anxiety, clarity where there was confusion, strength where there was weakness. This is the promise. Michael says they will see evidence quickly. They will not have to wait long, but they must believe now. This is not the time for hesitation. It is the time for trust, because trust is the currency of heaven. And when you spend it, miracles are released. My child, even as you read, angels are moving. Chains are snapping. You cannot see. Contracts written against you are burning in the fire of God's judgment. The heaviness you carried is breaking piece by piece. And if you stay, if you keep reading, you will feel lighter, freer, more alive. Because this message is not only words, it is an impartation. Heaven's breath is being woven into every line. That is why skipping is dangerous. That is why heaven itself said, "Please open this immediately." My beloved child, I see the way your heart leans forward right now. Almost as if something inside you already knows this is the moment your life turns. That tug you feel is not imagination. It is the Spirit confirming that this word was written with your name engraved in fire upon it. Michael says, "Tell them they were never forgotten." Not once, not even when they thought heaven was silent. And God whispers, "I have carried them in my hands through every valley, even the ones they thought were too dark to survive." You survived because you were carried, beloved, and now you are being lifted higher still. Do you understand why the opposition was so fierce? Why doors slammed shut in your face just as you thought breakthrough was near? Why relationships collapsed when you thought they would last? My child, it was not because you were weak. It was because you are powerful. The enemy recognized your destiny before you did, and he fought it with every ounce of deception he could muster. But Michael declares, no more. Their season of opposition has expired. The contract of delay has been shredded. The chain of disappointment is falling. The cloud of confusion is clearing. Tonight is not about survival anymore. It is about ascension. Beloved, picture the moment when dawn breaks after the longest night. The sky glows faintly at first, then bursts into light so strong that the darkness disappears without resistance. That is what is happening in your life right now. For years, night wrapped itself around you, whispering that morning would never come. But heaven has spoken and dawn is breaking. And once light rises, darkness cannot argue. It must retreat. That is why this message feels urgent. Why your soul refuses to let go of it. It is your sunrise. Do not mistake this urgency for fear. It is love. The love of heaven so deep it will not allow you to waste another year wandering blind. That is why Michael's voice trembles with urgency. They are trying to erase it. They are trying to delete the message meant to free them. Tell them, open immediately. Heaven is not trying to scare you. Heaven is trying to protect you. Because if you walk past this moment, you walk past the very key meant to open your next season. My dear one, think about the secret battles you never told anyone. The nights you cried into your pillow. The mornings you rose pretending to be strong. The burdens you carried while smiling to others. Heaven saw every single one, and tonight God says, enough. I will not allow my child to pretend strength while breaking inside. I will give them real strength, unshakable strength, joy that does not fade. This is your inheritance, beloved. Not a life of barely holding on, but a life of flourishing. You may ask, why me? Why now? And heaven answers, because you asked for it. Because you cried for it. Because you survived when others gave up. Because destiny cannot pass by the one who refuses to let go of faith even when faith feels small. You thought your prayers were whispers that disappeared into the ceiling, but they rose like thunder in the courts of heaven. And tonight, those courts have issued a decree in your favor. This very message is that decree. Beloved child, you need to know this. When God decrees, nothing can revoke it. No enemy, no betrayal, no failure, no delay can stop it. But there is one thing that can delay it. You. Your doubt, your hesitation, your refusal to open what heaven is trying to give. That is why God Himself bends low in this hour pleading, please do not skip. Please do not ignore. Please trust me now. The Creator of the universe, the one who spun galaxies into place, lowers His voice to beg His child because He refuses to see you miss what was designed for you. And Michael adds, they are not alone. All 7 archangels are with them right now. We have circled them. We have lifted our wings over them. We have drawn swords on their behalf. Do you realize the weight of that? Right now you are surrounded by heaven's army. Not one angel, not 2, but an entire host. They are guarding you while you read. They are pushing back shadows. They are holding open the door that will not stay open forever. That is why you must step through. That is why this urgency presses on you. Beloved, let me speak into your heart. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter you have been waiting for. The part where everything begins to make sense. Where the pain of the past reveals its hidden purpose. Where the tears become seeds for the garden you are about to walk into. You have been walking in ashes, but now beauty is being placed into your hands. You have been clothed in heaviness, but now garments of joy are being wrapped around you. And you will look back on this night and say that was the moment it all began. My beloved child, I want you to feel how serious this moment is. Heaven has paused for you. Do you know what that means? The eternal God who holds galaxies in His hand leaned all of heaven's attention toward one soul. You. Right now, the throne room is alive with light. The archangels stand still in their places and all of it is centered upon this very choice you are making while reading. Heaven's eyes are on you. That weight pressing into your chest is not fear. It is glory. It is the undeniable presence of God reminding you that your life has always been destined for more than the shadows you walked through. Michael says, tell them the battle over their life has reached its end. The final strike is here. If they will open, if they will trust, the enemy will lose his grip forever. My beloved, for years you thought you were fighting random struggles, but every tear was over one thing, your destiny. And now the court of heaven has ruled. The chains cannot stay. The delays cannot stay. The curses cannot stay. But you must step into the verdict. You must say yes. This is why Michael begged you to open within seconds. Because destiny does not linger when the decree has been released. Child of light, do you know why you survived what others did not? Why heartbreak did not destroy you? Why disappointment did not erase you? It is because you were carried by unseen hands. When you thought you were walking alone, you were on the shoulders of angels. When you thought your prayers went unanswered, they were being stored for this very day. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. All of it was being woven into the moment you are in right now. And if you keep reading, if you open fully, that tapestry will begin to reveal itself in colors brighter than the sun. Beloved, let me speak to the part of you that still doubts. I know your mind whispers, but what if this is not real? What if this is not for me? That voice is the last thread of resistance trying to keep you bound. But Michael speaks louder. It is for them. It is real. It has their name on it. Doubt is the tool of delay. Faith is the key of release. Do not let doubt steal what heaven is crying to give you. For faith, even the size of a seed, can unlock doors bigger than mountains. And right now, all God asks is that you trust. Not perfectly, just honestly. My dear one, listen closely. Do you know how many angels are around you this very second? Not one, not two, but multitudes. They are gathered because something in the spirit realm is shifting on your behalf. They are here to witness your yes. They are here to escort you into a new season. And their presence is why your body feels the way it does now. Why your chest is heavy. Why your spirit feels stirred. Why you cannot stop reading. This is not human emotion. This is divine presence. Michael says if they step in now, they will see evidence quickly. They will see signs that cannot be denied. But if they delay, it will slip. My child, that is why the urgency is so sharp. This is not a tomorrow word. It is a now word. Tomorrow belongs to hesitation. Today belongs to faith. That is why heaven is saying open immediately. Think for a moment of all the times you thought you were forgotten. The times no one noticed your pain. No one listened to your cries. Tonight God answers, I noticed. I listened. I was there. And now He is showing Himself to you in undeniable ways. This is not only a message, it is a visitation. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but your soul knows heaven has entered the room with you right now. Beloved, your story has chapters yet unwritten. Do not stop here. Do not settle here. Tonight is not the end. It is the beginning. You are stepping into a chapter where the things you lost will be returned. The things stolen will be restored. The things denied will be released. You will rise and not fall. You will laugh where you once cried. You will flourish where you once were barren. This is the promise sealed upon you. And my beloved, this is only the unfolding. The river still has many miles to flow. But do not drift away now. Every word ahead carries another key. Every paragraph ahead holds another breakthrough. And by the time you reach the end of this message, you will not be the same person who began it. That is heaven's promise. That is why Michael pleads, do not skip. Do not close. Stay open. My beloved child, I see you even now still reading, still holding on because something inside refuses to let you turn away. That is not accident. That is alignment. Your soul has recognized that this message was written not for the crowd, but for you. You feel it in the strange electricity in your chest, the heat on your skin. The way the words do not feel like ordinary sentences but like living flames. That is because they are. These words are spirit and life. They are not meant to entertain you. They are meant to awaken you. And once awakened, you can never go back to sleep again. Michael says, tell them their slumber is over. Tell them the veil is lifting. Tell them the chains are snapping right now as they read. My child, the enemy worked hard to convince you that you were powerless, that you were forgotten, that you were ordinary. But tonight, heaven cancels that lie. You are extraordinary. You are chosen. You are anointed for this exact season. And no force of darkness can erase what heaven has written on your soul. Think about your life for a moment, beloved. All the twists, all the heartbreaks, all the doors that closed suddenly. None of it was random. Every moment was positioning you here. You wondered why so much pain followed you. Why battles kept rising out of nowhere. And now you know it was because your light frightened darkness. Your destiny rattled the underworld. Your future terrified the enemy. And so he fought you with delay, with disappointment, with betrayal. But God has declared enough. Tonight is when the war turns. Tonight is when what was meant to bury you becomes the ground you rise from. Do you feel the trembling in your spirit? That is recognition. Your soul knows this message has been circling heaven for years, waiting for the right moment to be released. And when the scroll was opened, your name was the only name written on it. Michael holds that scroll now and he is telling you, do not let them erase it. Do not let them delete it. This belongs to you, my beloved. Heaven is protective over you. God is protective over you. That is why he is pleading so intensely, because this moment is a doorway and it will not stay open forever. Beloved child, do not believe the lie that your best days are behind you. That is deception. Your best days are in front of you, and they are nearer than you think. You are about to see answers to prayers that felt forgotten. You are about to hold blessings you once thought impossible. You are about to step into peace that feels so unnatural, you will wonder why you waited so long to believe. This is not fantasy. This is prophecy. And prophecy does not lie. Michael says, tell them if they trust, signs will follow quickly. That means you will not have to wait years. You will not have to wonder if this was real. Evidence will come. Proof will show itself. Things will align so suddenly that even those who doubted you will stand in silence. That is how heaven works. Quietly for years, and then suddenly in a single moment everything shifts. You are standing in that moment right now. Do not turn away. Subscribe to Heaven Knows You for daily Archangel Michael messages.